Anyway, so I want to address a couple of things to make it real clear. Um, not but so first of all, for all these dudes that want to take a shot at me, they feel like when I get on panels, they want to take the time, to say some slick shit out their mouth, like anything they say is gonna stop me from what I'm doing. They want to say how they feel, get their emotions out. You might as well make a video and just put it out there, because truth be told, I don't give a fuck about what you saying, and there ain't nothing you gonna say that's gonna change what the fuck I'm doing. Now, if you doing it for you, then that's all good and dandy. Do it for you. Go ahead, have your period, and that's fine. But it ain't gonna change what the fuck I do, how the fuck I do it, why the fuck I do it. And this isn't directed at any particular person. This is directed kind of at, this last like 6 weeks. It's been, an uptick of people doing that. Now, as far as the people that's in the chat, is always crying about what I do. You know what? You need to fucking go ahead, email the content creators to do what the fuck you do. And then they'll make a decision on that. Okay, I need this. At the end of the fucking day, I do what I do. And you gonna have to, you niggas act like I'm everywhere all the time, which I'm not. I'm not even on most of these panels that prolonged period of time. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna fucking change. Not for you niggas. So really, a lot of what y'all doing is gonna make me want to do the same thing even more, just to be a petty nigga like that. So all this being in the chat, crying about what, I'm talking too much, or y'all don't like, it's more people that actually like my style that don't like my style. I actually don't have that style in every area that I do on YouTube. But in this space, I tend to really go off the cuff. But this idea that motherfuckers think they gonna bitch their way into me not doing it no more, that's not gonna happen. Y'all just gonna be saying what y'all say in the comments. Y'all just gonna be upset. And then some of y'all gonna bubble up and decide to get on chat and redirect everything. And then I'm gonna do what I always do. Was I say, okay, well, since you have so much to say, what do you want to talk about? And then y'all gonna be quiet like y'all always are, because most of y'all really ain't got shit to say. And I just wanted to get that up front and out of the front, because I see it, I don't care. And there ain't shit you gonna do about it. That's just real talk. That's just real fucking talk. So you might as well save yourself some energy and just shut the fuck up. Now, you can't do that because it's black men. We hear shit and then we just gotta do it because emotions take over. And that is what it is. But I won't say the last time I address it, but probably it'll be the last time I really address it, because I've been kind of letting people say what they want to say in the chat, not saying nothing. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I just don't. Now, that being said, I want to talk about some things like with me that's been going on. Like, not so much things been going on with me, but stuff is going on over this last week. And this is why I want to do this video. Here's the thing. The Manosphere is bigger than any one individual. People can take that how they want to take that, but that's true. The Manosphere is bigger than Tommy Sotomayor. The Manosphere was definitely bigger than SWP and First Generation. I fuck with BGS heavy. The Manosphere is bigger than BGS. And obviously, there are certain people that obviously would hurt a hell of a lot more if they leave than others. BGS would be one of them. But, everybody looks at the Manosphere from a slightly different angle, because everybody came into the Manosphere from a different angle. I came into the Manosphere through Soul and Black by way of Charles Tyler. So I used to listen to Charles Tyler stuff when it comes to dating, basically what I would call intercultural dating. And on his Blog Talk Radio show, And then Soul and Black was on there, called in. I would call in show a couple of times. So and then from Soul and Black, I didn't really come across BGS through Soul and Black, but I noticed it did. I saw found BGS on my own, and then Soul and Black kind of like was there, so I kind of connect the dots that way. And by the way, Soul and Black is a Hebrew Israelite. So for y'all to be thinking, oh, I feel some type of way about Hebrew Israelites. No, I don't. It's just a lot of y'all be acting like y'all shit don't stink. So acting like y'all shit don't stink. So somebody just needs to call that out. That's all. Y'all know no different than anybody else in the manosphere. Some folks are on point. Some folks are bullshit. So, um, I've talked about this before, but it's cool saying it again. At the end of the day, I have a angle in the manosphere based on how I came into the manosphere. But I understood I'm not everywhere. I'm not on everybody's channel. I deal with the certain places I deal with, and then that's it. But I know the manosphere is far bigger than just the spaces that I deal with. There's other spaces. And you had a lot of different angles back in the day. You had more of the stronger MGTOW folks, like your Darius MGTOW, Kid Organic, all those folks. And those folks have kind of gone on and do more of their own thing to the point where they talk a lot of shit about the manosphere. Not Darius MGTOW, but some of the others. And most of that is because they identify the manosphere with certain individuals, like Angry Man, O'Shea, Obsidian. And what happens is all three, maybe one. And what happens is the manosphere starts getting like, it starts getting like, it starts getting kind of lumped together in one thing, where the manosphere has always been a lot of different, like maybe like 6 or 7 different like archetypes that really are in it. And then the opinions don't necessarily always line up, because everybody can be a little bit of a couple of different things, right? And these manifest in the topics and conversations we have. So recently, I wanted to comment on something. There was an argument, this argument that keeps coming up about expansion. And part of the push and pull is people want to keep shit as much as the same as possible, but at the end of the day, and then there's people that want to expand as much as possible. And then some people fall in between that. Like I fall in between that, where I'm all for expansion, but at the same time, I'm definitely this will remain a black owned and controlled space. And then you have some people are willing to let that shit go. This is some of the back and forths I've had with Obsidian, where Obsidian used to be the main one that he was the main one sowing controversy with the bitches, like direct controversy. But at the same time, now we need to have a conversation. Give me a second. Anyway, all right, y'all. Fuck. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm back. So I mean, part of that shit though is some of the audience y'all like that shit. Y'all like that constantly WWF entertaining shit, and I'm letting you know, I'm not doing that bullshit no more. Like I'm gonna repackage a lot of my content as far as the ideas that I've discussed, which has really been a rough draft when it comes to the gynocracy and stuff. And I'm gonna repackage that in a different way. And then I'm gonna start aiming like a lot of my energy into the now what conversation. What do you do about a conversation? How do you win conversation? The type of shit that Greg Adams tries to talk about. Not to throw him under a bus or anything like that, but tries to talk about. But I think that I've talked about this for a while, and I think, I get tired of black men talk about in quote unquote investments, because I hear motherfuckers talking about shit that just does not really hit the pavement as to where black men are, and most Americans are. Most Americans do not have enough money to be talking about investments. They just don't. Can you hear me? Yeah, y'all can hear me, right? Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay. So, yeah. So, really this, so as far as the Manosphere, man, I'm going to tell you something. The future is bright for the Manosphere. And the biggest issue in the Manosphere really is monetization. You got people that are afraid of money because they associate money with rightly or wrongly, they associate money with a lot of unscrupulous bullshit. So their relationship with money is fucked up. Black people have always had, in my opinion, a fucked up relationship with money. So they're always going to speak. They're going to throw whatever they can throw at shit and call it anti this, anti that, because they think there is no right. They firmly believe that there's no truly right way to monetize. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think that a lot of folks that say that are ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I mean that in the most all due respect way. They don't know. They don't know, because you can monetize things without like throwing shit under the bus and still make more money than you otherwise would. It's just the fast lane shit is usually where you throw shit under the bus. That's number one. Number two is you got folks that do want to monetize, but they want to monetize by all means necessary type shit, which I don't agree with. They have no problem saying what needs to be said in order to, or they will try to guide the conversation in such a way that would make it more amenable, rather than just restarting their audiences and just create it. Like, and here's the one thing I will say about Donovan, because I put it out here. I put it out there. I said it kind of in the. I said it that I think personally he was trying to absorb the manosphere for the white boys. I don't really have an issue with Donovan, and I understand kind of push and pull that Donovan has. I will say this though. There's two sides to that, and that remains to be seen. But there's what I just said, which he could be trying to absorb the management, or it could be something that actually, in my opinion, a lot of people will be more worried about in the manosphere, is that Donovan would create. I said this on Ramil shit. My bad. I know Ramil didn't run a rehash it, so I'm gonna talk about the shit myself, because I have enough of the background to kind of know what's going on, and at least know what I've seen even as an observer, to kind of have those opinions. But Donovan is capable of taking the audience he currently has, which is, maybe like I'd say maybe 10%, maybe a little bit more black. I'd argue maybe 15-20% black, maybe, but it's mostly, I hate to call it white, it's mostly, because it's not just white, it's mostly, we would call the mainstream audience, which is the mainstream demographics, because it's not just white. But the smart play would be for him to take that audience. This is what I think he's doing once I thought about it, is taking that audience and using that as a way to not so much deal with the manosphere. What the fuck? Not so much deal with the manosphere, but really create an audience that's outside of the manosphere. Because what is it really worth to create that kind of audience in the because if you create another black audience that's not Manosphere adjacent, you're gonna by definition get people to fuck with that anyway. Some of the audience members. So what's the point in putting the work to do that when you can format a new audience that's based on other sectors of black YouTube? And it really dawned on me when he started saying black YouTube over and over. He's essentially doing what, quite frankly, a lot of it should have already been kind of doing, which is going into different sectors of black YouTube, formatting the Manosphere to make it more amenable to black men in different sectors of YouTube, which is kind of something O'Shea has done when he's reached out to other people. And hey, he has every right to do that, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem at all with that, and that's really what some folks were saying that they would be open to. And then it just basically got twisted into a quote-unquote leader of this and a leader of that. And the reality is there is no kings of this shit. There may be governors, there may be more powerful governors of certain stuff because of their influence, but the reality is nobody owns traffic. Nobody owns like somebody's attention. It's not how it works. And I definitely understand what folks were saying as far as saying, I'm not going to throw Donovan under the bus because he's beefing with somebody else. Because at the end of the day, man, there are people that people fuck with that I do not like. Like, I do not like Steve D. I don't. For a variety of reasons. That didn't stop certain people from fucking with him. Right? And I had to deal with that. I had to accept that. And those same folks can, quite frankly, accept and here's why. I'm gonna tell you why I accepted it, because I want to be very clear with what I'm saying. One of the things that helped me accept that people that I dealt with people I don't like is that if this person is really the type of person I think this person is as to why I don't like them, then I don't need to tell somebody why they don't need to fuck with them. They're gonna just be themselves, and by definition, that is gonna create the outcome I want created anyway. It's just a matter of being patient. And that's what happened. A lot of what happened, as far as a lot of this 21 convention shit and stuff, ended up blowing up. Not because I wanted it to blow up, but because people got to a point where they were just diverging. And so people could talk about the man shit and all that shit, but at the end of the day, shit's gonna happen the way shit's gonna happen. And it was the same thing with Taz. Same thing with Taz. Same thing. I said, you know what? This shit's gonna blow up. I just gotta wait. The Taz was doing some shit with the Pettis shit that I just had to say something. I could not just not say nothing. I couldn't just let that go. But outside of that shit, I would have just been patient. And that's a lesson to a lot of you all. The situation will materialize the way it needs to. If you're right about that person, it's going to materialize the way it needs to materialize. Because they can't help but be who they are. They can't help but be who they are. And this is not about me not liking me. You just gotta be patient about it. It just is what it is. And that's the same thing that I would give as far as advice to other people that would then try to force people to make choices. If you really believe, and I'm not saying believe, if you've experienced fucked up shit, and I can say this shit about a lot of people too. It's not even just a couple of people. But if you really believe, then that shit's gonna bear that shit out. If they on some hoe shit, then the hoe shit, you can't keep the hoe in you. Only a certain amount of time, especially if you deal with people more and more. Now, if there's some situations where it was just some business shit why stuff bought out, then that is what it is. That is what it is. So you just gotta let it happen, and people gotta stop having so much trying to think they have control over what they don't have control over. Cause you don't control shit. And when I say you, I mean I don't control shit. You know, you want to tell somebody what to do, don't control your shit. Now some people have a lot more influence than others. But at the end of the day, even that. And at the end of the day, what I'm defending here is I'm defending people's right to make their own decision where they want to fuck with somebody. Now there's limits to that. Like if you want some shit where you dealing with people that's always fired starting it. And at the end of the day, somebody has to make but it just is. Appreciate the super chat from Shatterpoint for the cause. Absolutely. Tag claiming, kill right. I was waiting for your stream, EA. Yeah, man. And it's time for me to it's time for me to give value to this space. And I think the biggest problem in the manosphere is the problem of putting black men in a power position. Now, look, there's a lot of y'all that's making money. I'm not suggesting that. But the next evolution in the manosphere, in my opinion, is to create an economy. And an economy, and I've talked about this before, an economy has to not just serve one group, it has to serve every group. So you have the audience, you have the content creator, what I call YouTube, let's say YouTubers, which people, I would consider myself like a YouTuber right now, not to say a content creator in this space. Then you have the content creators. Then you have, so obviously as an audience, what do you all want? Well, first of all, we need to get a good idea of what you all want and not tell you what you want. But what I think that folks want is we need to is not to be so much on the women piece. This is something I've been told. We need to start getting into other markets where black men are, such as, I even see value, and I see definitely value in what O'Shea's doing with the international shit, as well as with the gossip shit, because that gossip money, there needs to be a black male opinion on that. Jada Black has been doing that. O'Shea's adding to that. There's others that's been, Tareen Rain has been doing it in more the pro-black angle, the political angle. Shout out to Superboy, which has been doing it on the more socio-political angle as well. And there's other folks that they've been doing it on more the geekdom level, like Amazing Lucas and some other folks. And I think, our commentary, I think, could definitely be better served. And if you're going to get into that market, there is something to step up to, eventually. Because everybody doesn't have time to be doing research on fucking, I think people want to know what's going on, but in a way that's kind of like easy to absorb. Not something where you got to do the research, learning about all this bullshit. But we like to know that a lot of these chicks, and dudes are doing bullshit. I already said the sports sector. I think the geekdom sector with the entertainment sector and that route can serve. We can serve a lot in that market. So there's a lot of categories. Shout out to the same kind. You know what the gynocracy is. At this point, it's just time for me to package that in a package that can be shared and easily dissected, rather than me saying a lot of the same things over again. And I'm not saying I'm gonna get away from it, but at the same time, there's other conversations that need to be had. And also there needs to be a way for us to actually have the now what conversation. People want to talk about self-improvement. Well, the biggest thing that black men lack is time. If black men can take more control of their time, they can 10x anything that's necessary to self-improve because they have the time to do so. Think about if you actually had 3 or 4 hours that you could easily be in the gym for, or every day, or you had the money that you could get a Bowflex or get stuff, bring that to your house. How easy do you think it would be to actually get in shape? If you actually had the time, and when you look at what your job is, and you look at how much money you dedicate to that, if you could just eliminate that or cut that down like drastically, how much would that benefit you? And that's what I want to focus on, like in this space. People talk about money, investments, about all these things people want to do, but they don't really where the pavement meets the road type of shit. Like really doing the daily work of talking about how you can do this, what you can do, what's really out there, how actually accessible it actually is, and what are the resources, both physical and intellectual, that you all have, without having you all do some ultra extra shit that's gonna take time for you all to see the flourishing of it, or the fruits of that. And everybody doesn't want to get on the thing and talk all day, but like I said, there's a way to completely evolve this thing into something that I think could be really special. Into something that can allow us to kind of do what we want to do in a way. And I'm gonna tell you this. Let me give you a perfect example. The manosphere can expand and still remain what it is, because at the end of the day, and one of the things about business is, if you look at the manosphere like the Vatican, the Vatican brings money all over the world, yet the Vatican still remains the Vatican. And the way that you do that is you use something that you can monetize that allows you to engage with other people, as far as different, whether it's some people of different races, whether it's women, but at the same time, you bring that money back into the manosphere, because you're not engaging with them on the topics that are valued in the manosphere. There are certain topics that are always going to be black male valued, and we don't have to give a fuck about anybody's opinions on that, but we don't have to engage with people on any of those topics. We don't. We don't, because we don't need their permission to do shit. And there's ways of doing business with folks in other ways that are completely, like, the manosphere can be its whole own thing and maintain its whole own thing without really disrupting that, going into other stuff. And I think too many people don't really map that out, because those conversations are always had very tertiary and very ancillary. Let me see what y'all got. And ain't no shots fired, Aaron B. It just is what it is. Appreciate the ones. What's up, Mike V? The Highlander complex is very real. And but at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of other stuff to talk about, a lot of marketing you can get into. Hell, not even just YouTube, when it comes to Instagram. And that's where you're going to start seeing me point my focus. Like, you're going to see me angle stuff out to stuff like that. And then you'll see channels that'll kind of get built up. Collab channels will kind of get built up around that. And then I think we can very much so do some really, really good shit. What's up, Scott? Yep, Joe Budden, absolutely. Absolutely. And that requires folks get out of their feelings on a lot of shit and actually get to business. And people can participate at any level that they want to participate in, but understand that, the riches favor the bold. That's all I'll say with that. What's up, Will IR? And so a lot of this stuff I'm going to roll out slowly, because if I roll it out too fast, it's not going to go the way I want to go. So I'm going to roll it out slowly. But I'm very excited for 2021. That's all I got to say with that. I'm very, very excited for 2021. When am I going to debate on Profit of Thought? When I feel like it. What I might send a variety of topics that I'm willing to debate on, and I'll debate anybody on it. But I personally don't give a shit about that, because at the end of the day, man, yeah, I really don't care about that. So how about this? I got 73 people listening. Get them likes up, by the way. Give me some top. What are some categories you all would like to see the Manosphere go into? Sports, basketball, football, what these motherfuckers are doing outside the court, outside the gym, entertainment, gossip, hip hop, outside the sound booth, business, sales, digital marketing, real estate, credit repair, side hustles, flipping shoes, flipping clothes, travel, traveling in the country, traveling outside the country. What are some topics that you all would like the Manosphere to go more deeper into and aim at? I got Tagman says hip hop and sports, central intelligence. What does that mean? What does central intelligence means? Side hustle, things like flipping iPhones, marketing, because these things, because the way that I would look at doing it is more so dealing with content creators that are already doing it. They can definitely either has a black male experience, like, or can at least speak to an experience. ASMR, oh God. Fitness and health, nutrition, absolutely. Shout out to Stefan's Clit Scales. Training and rites of passage for young black men. That's a good category. You could almost build a blog around that. I don't even know what the fuck I want. Transmutation, thinking, grow rich. Black men creating their own central intelligence. Yeah, man, we got a couple of levels to get there first. We got to get our own economy first. But that's definitely a good goal. Learning about the law. Okay. And law as far as like what the law can do for you economically, different things you need to look at as far as protecting yourself, as far as situations black men typically deal with. And there's channels and groups around that. It's about aggregating what people are already doing and kind of bringing that into an audience via these topics, which is not some brand new shit. I mean, O'Shea does it all the time. Definition of high value men as a minority, that would be a discussion. Yeah, that's a good discussion. I mean, the way I typically leave it with that is, at the end of the day, your job is to be an in-demand man. Meaning, do these chicks want to deal with you? Whatever people call it outside of that is whatever it is. Here's another thing, don't get hung up. Do not get hung up on what other people say. That's another thing, too, that black men got to stop doing. Detroit. Well, understand something that, this shit ain't gonna get shut down. Walt Diddy channel. Yes, protection. All right, absolutely. Yeah. Like things, and I'm gonna tell you, Glenn and Cameron he doesn't talk enough about it, but he does know how to do this. So like a good interview with him where I ask some of these questions as somebody that's done it, whether it's him, whether it's Dennis Sperling, who is a personal injury attorney, ambulance chaser. Yeah. He said, what's my thoughts on sneaker flipping? If you're passionate about shoes, it's definitely something that you can do. I think I'll say this. If somebody wants to spend thousands of dollars on shoes, there's definitely a path to doing it in such a way that can actually pay you back. But the passion's got to be there. The passion's got to be there. And I like shoes, but I'm not passionate enough about it to do a lot of it. But if you're passionate about it, yes, it's definitely something you can turn into a side hustle. Especially with things like OfferUp and Let Go and a lot of these places that you can send shoes and trade shoes, eBay. But you got to be passionate about something like that, in my opinion. I don't think that's something you can just jump into on some hustle tip and then be like, all right, I'm just going to get a lick and then bounce. fuck is that? Look at that shit. Dang, that's some shit I used to see in the goddamn Philippines. I think health and fitness is important, and I think there's a lot of channels that can speak to that. And when I say health and fitness, you know, it's what the fuck am I talking about outside of what everybody else is already saying? You know, one thing I would say in the Manosphere is kind of like an accountability group, kind of like a situation where we talk about really, really rubber meets the road types of things, like how to grow, build muscle, different techniques that works for other people. You know, what are some of the things that gets in the way of people doing that, like time, maybe certain products people have bought. Diet is more of fitness. Diet is more of health and nutrition than anything. So certain ways that you can affect your diet in such a way, little things. That's what I'm talking about. Not so much the shit everybody is already doing and talking about. I mean, we could just leverage those resources. Intermittent fasting versus other things, you know, shit like that. You know, I was just talking to y'all about my opinions on the Forex shit. I would definitely like to interview people on that. And I'd say take the sales bullshit out of it. You know, how to make money with Instagram, how to make money with Facebook, how to really make money with YouTube, like something anybody could do. You know, how to develop content. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I have no problem with Kuda in the microphone thing. I think Kuda needs to fall back a little bit, but I think that when people are interested in it, like I have no problem interested. I need to get better when it comes to lapel mics and audio and stuff like that. But I think this shit about telling niggas to buy a whole bunch of equipment just cause. I mean, if people want to do that, they're gonna do that. Just put the information out, and when people are ready to take advantage of it, they will. I'm definitely interested in doing a lot more microphone work. You said, what's the future of marriage? I mean, you know, if I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, you know, single motherhood is actually has been flattening out. So what that means that the black community is probably gonna be 70. Single motherhood is gonna be about 70%. So 30% of people that have kids are gonna have, that's what the fuck. 30% of people that have kids are going to be married, at least from 1 to 10, and then everybody else is gonna not be married. So that can be cohabitation. That could take a form into a lot of different things. So that's the future, because it looks like it's actually flattening out at 70%. About 73, 70%. That's BGS's data too, by the way. Yeah, because this is one thing a lot of people don't understand about OnlyFans. OnlyFans was really supposed to be a version of Patreon. OnlyFans was supposed to be another version of Patreon. OnlyFans actually was not meant to be a porn site. OnlyFans was not meant to be a porn site. OnlyFans was meant to be a Patreon. That's what it was meant to be. And what happened was, I don't get it. I don't get how it happened, but it just happened. I guess a lot of people got on OnlyFans because Patreon wasn't dealing with that shit as much anymore. Because Patreon, you can still put up that type of content, but Patreon really doesn't want their platform around that. So OnlyFans, I guess, was just one of the other things people were trying out, just like ConnectPal, and OnlyFans just took off for some reason. That's it. But OnlyFans was never intended to be like a porn site. OnlyFans was always intended to be like a Patreon. It wasn't even intended to be like tip snaps. It was intended to be just another way that somebody could put up a site, put up a framework, get some money for the transactions. and it just took off. Nigga, Trina is involved in I forget, it's TLC, Total Life Changes, which is the network marketing company a lot of black people, particularly black women, do. A Marilyn Egger's in that too. And she's only Trina basically trying to hustle for herself because she probably ain't getting paid off of the lifestyle money anymore. As far as Trina's clearly not getting that much money out of the music industry no more. And it is what it is. I'm not hating, I'm just saying. Because at the end of the day, it's interesting to see how these celebs really try to navigate their own celebrity, so to speak. You said, why do I always look up my nose? Whatever, man. Because the phone is at the bottom. The phone, I'm holding my fucking phone. Like, that's why. End of. There you go. You don't gotta look at my nose. Well, I've given you all my honest, unbiased take on Forex. Forex is not meant, the problem with it's not even a problem. Forex is not meant for you all. Forex is not meant to be your primary source of income. It's not. Forex is meant to augment income you already have and you're already making. And when I say income, I'm not talking about from a 9-to-5 job where you're trading hours for dollars. Because chances are you're not making enough money to justify putting all of that up on Forex. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's meant to augment money that you're doing with other things. And so when it's sold that way, I have an issue with it. That's all. It's not anything complicated. It's not meant for that. Forex is meant to flip your money. And I mean flip money you're making it via an asset, not money that you're making working your job. That's really that's really the only issue with it. But does it work? Sure. But I think people fall in love with Forex, like I said before, because Forex means you don't have to talk to anybody. Forex means you just can flip your own money and you do you. You don't have to communicate or engage with people. And that's the problem that a lot of people have, especially black people. We have this thing about not wanting to engage with people, but we want everything's about game and social capital. But when it comes down to really engaging with people in such a way that will lead to a sale or lead to prosperity, people don't want to do that. I don't want to be a salesman. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be an affiliate. I don't want to do this. Why? Because I just don't want to talk to people. I don't want to get rejected. But we always talking about game. And that's why I game, because I know how full of shit black people are when you flip that into other things. It's all about game until it's time for business. Now fuck game. I just don't want to do that. I don't know why. It's not for me. Metals are investments. Metals are not. Here's the thing about metals. Metals are great investments, but metals are not something that's gonna. Here's the thing. Metal is not gonna increase your cash flow. Black men's issue is a cash flow problem. You do not fix that with an investment. You do not fix that with You do not fix that with And you don't fix cash flow problems with investments. You fix that with the hustle. You fix that by working harder at your job and getting a hustle if you can't do that. And then if you get a hustle, digital hustles are probably the best because they are the most profitable. If you can make them work. You see that shit with OnlyFans and shit like that. It's profitable. But you don't fix so all that is great. Talk about metals, but when you're talking about that, you're talking about longer term investments. And here's another thing. Doing things on speculating is something that very few people can do, and you only make real money when you got money to do some serious speculating on. That's what people don't want to really talk about or address. So a lot of it is like talking a whole about nothing. Marketing and sales are probably the two best, fastest ways to put some serious money in your pocket in order to do other things. If you want to Forex when you got money in your pocket, go ahead. If you want to invest in metals and you got money or speculate on that, go ahead. But that stuff gives much more benefits once you have more money to put in it. And that's what people don't really want to talk about. So what happens is it becomes intellectual masturbation because we're not really meeting people where they are. Simon says, I'm down with sales, building love. I'm looking forward to your sales. Yeah, man. And here's the thing about sales. Sales is not sale. Whatever you think sales is, if you have a negative connotation of sales, it's not that. It's not. Like the problem with sales is sales is not presented. The biggest part about sales is mindset. It's you have to be able to present it in a way that meets people where they are and they feel like they can do it. And the problem is people have this mentality where they just say, you know what, I'm just gonna. They like to play the tough card when it comes to sales. You know what, the tough people are gonna rise to the top, and the rest of them are just gonna be broke. Fuck them. And sometimes you need to take that mentality, but that's not what this is about. This is about really having a dialogue as far as what people think sales is versus what it actually is to get somebody to say yes. What does it really take for you to communicate with someone in such a way that exchange value? It's not about getting something from somebody without them giving something. It's not about telling them what they want to hear just to hustle them out of something. It's about really engaging with them in such a way that enhances the value of something to the point where they want to buy it. But it's still valuable to them. Here's the thing. You can't enhance the value of something to someone unless you know what they want. That's the issue. You can't sell somebody something and if they don't believe they want that or need that. So you have to know what somebody wants. You have to ask questions in a certain sequence in order to get that information and get them to open up to you. Like they don't know how much you care and want to know how much you know till they know how much you care. Well, yeah, when it comes to what folks do with sales, it's always going to be these like stories of one dude did this or one dude did that. But the question is, can somebody really teach you how to do that at that level over and over again? And that's where the bullshit starts. So what happens is people are selling, and this happens in affiliate marketing too. People are selling information. They're selling the hype. Well, believing in what you're dealing with, that's something too. And there's a lot to that. But you don't have to like them to know what value they present. And you just have to know what value they present. Like, for instance, a Hyundai Genesis, like, you just got to know the value they present. That's all that is. But that's not the type of, and most of the stuff that I'm talking about, that I will be talking about, isn't even going to be hard-nosed sales anyway. It's really going to be digital sales. It's going to be how to combine offline sales techniques with digital marketing in a way to put money in your pocket at will, if you do it the way I'm talking about. To the point where you then can take that and flip that into something else that you might want to do. You can take that money, then flip that money, and if you want to advertise, do advertising, so you don't got to deal with people like that. Or you can create barriers where you're creating sales just by moving money from one place to the other. But you have to work your way up to that. You can't just come out the gate saying, if somebody had $10,000 saying, I'm willing to spend it, let me spend it. I'm be like, I wouldn't tell nobody to do that, because if you don't understand how to actually make the deal, or understand where you need to be to make that deal, you might lose a lot of money. I don't sell to my friends. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because that's one of the things that gets lost in this conversation as well. Warm marketing. Warm marketing is one of these things that people like or have this fear about or petrified about. They don't want to be forced into doing it. But there's a couple of ways about warm marketing nobody's never considered. First of all, let's not even talk about warm marketing. Let's talk about the cold market. So when let's say you're somebody and you say, no, under no circumstances will I ever talk to anybody I know about business. What do you have? Okay, I will say this. That's cool that you want to make that decision. So there are a variety of ways of tapping into a cold market. Also, when we talk about our friends, that's relative, because technically, are we talking about people on social media, or are we talking about people that we really know? But let's assume you're talking about all of that. The cold market, you engage with the cold market in order to engage with the warm market. So let's say you're saying you don't want to talk to people you don't know. So what you do is you learn how to market and generate things through content marketing or through social media prospecting, where that's a science in and of itself, or through telephone calls where you're calling people that's already said they want to look at an opportunity or they're open to one, and then you deal with their warm market. So what I tell people is that's cool if you don't want to deal with your warm market, because the reason why people say that is they say that because they're not making money. If somebody was making $5,000 a month in doing something, then that conversation is going to change as far as, or even not even five. If they're making $1,000 a month doing something and they have 1,000 in hand that they can show they've generated, that conversation changes almost every time. But you deal with somebody's cold market because you can deal with their warm market. So when people don't, so I have to tell people, I don't care if you never call them. Still make the list as far as who you would talk to, even if you don't call them. Why? Because you have to be able to tell somebody else to do that. And you have to be able to help them make that list, because everybody doesn't feel that way. Everybody doesn't feel, oh, I'm never going to talk to anybody I know ever. They don't think that way. Everybody doesn't think that way. So if you don't want to do it, that's cool. But you need to know how to tell other people to do it, because let's say you deal with 10 people that's doing business with you, and only like 3 of them are willing to do that. So you still need to deal with the 3. Because the 3 people can lead to other people, and that helps like promote other things. That's all that is. And if you work with that, because a lot of times with these programs, even just getting 1 or 2 people that are willing to do that, you can make the sales that pay for you going into it. And here's the thing. Let's say you do talk to people you know, and they all say no. Okay, if they say, like the way I come at it, and number one, I don't talk to people I know like that. I don't. Because I know how to deal with that without doing that. But when I was doing it, what I would say is, okay, this is probably, so I'd say up front, hey man, yo, what's up, D'Angelo? Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, you got a couple minutes to talk. Yeah, all right. So this is probably not for you, so that's cool. But, I got this thing that I'm doing, this opportunity, this little hustle I'm doing, and I'm looking for some people that you may know that are always interested. They always got their ear to the pavement as far as making money. They're always interested in making money. They're always talking about money. They're talking about buying shit. They're talking about going somewhere, traveling, what have you. And they would be open to having like a 10-minute conversation. Who do you know? Right. And then I would say, and then I would go and I would say, who do you know that, always is talking about traveling, but haven't been able to go? Who do you know that's always talking about buying another car? Who do you know that have expensive hobbies? Who do you know that already got money, but they always act like they never have enough money, as far as they always want more? Who do you know? And then here's the thing. Now, they may say they don't want to give me that information right now. They may say they're not comfortable with that. And I say that's fine. I end the conversation. I say, cool, I understand that. Or they may ask, what is it about? And I say, okay, well, if you want to know what it's about, here, I got a video you can check out, like a quick 10-minute video. You can check out what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. Do you want to see the video or what? Or what's up? You know, you engage with them. It's not a big deal. It's not pressure. You know, it's not some, oh, well, you're my friend, so therefore you should be. No, I don't come at it like that. It's what it is what it is. And maybe they all say no. Okay. Where people don't like you is where you just keep pushing them, or you guilt them, or you make them feel like they gotta do some shit, or they do it, or let's say they hesitate with it. It's like, all right, man, look, man, it's not a big deal. If you're not comfortable giving me the names, hey, man, it's not a big deal. Shit, it's all good. I'm just going through the people that I know. I'm just going through a couple of quick people that I know. That's it. And then if I got, usually what happens too is I have someone behind me say, man, I got this great guy. He's making like X amount, like he is making 10K a month or X amount of dollars a month, and he's teaching me how to do this. And I wanted to see who do you know that might be willing to learn from somebody that's already making six figures working from home and blah, 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 blah. Well, what is it? Well, you know, I got a video that I could give you if you want it, but are you really interested and want to know what it is, or are you just looking for a way to say no? Like, I give people outs. Like, I give people multiple outs saying, look, if you're not comfortable with it, you don't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. You know, I don't have an issue, because the problem when people talk about warm market is they try to make it like that's the only way you generate business. And I remember when I was younger, when I was 18, like 19 years old, and they tried to have me do that, I did it at first, but I started to rebel against it, because I started to realize, I said, no, I'm not about to blow up. I'm not going to be this guy that people are running away with, because even before they started talking about the NFL club, the No Friends Left Club, I'm like, no, fuck that. Y'all, is this the only thing y'all got as far as how to market? Y'all ain't got nothing else? Well, this is the only way we do. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a problem with that, because I'm not about to sit here and tell other people the only way that they can build a business. Now, and to be fair, I know how to like work through referrals, through referrals, through referrals, through referrals. I actually do know how to do that. I know how to do that. I know how to work through referrals and after referrals. I actually learned how to do that in Cutco. That's actually what had people try to recruit me in the first place. But I said, I'm not doing that, man. No, I'm not doing that. You're gonna have to give me, because I'd rather you know, and I didn't even know it at the time, but I was really wanting to learn how to market and combine the two. And the key, but when you try to force somebody to do that, then yeah, that's an issue. And that's not something I do. In fact, to be honest with you, warm market is really not one of the things I even typically talk about. Because at the end of the day, I know how people feel about that. So I don't waste the time trying to communicate to them, telling them what you don't have to do and all that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be this hesitation until I show them there's a lot of different ways to do shit. I'm not just telling you, you have to do this. In fact, this isn't even the main thing I do. Now, with that being said, it's also something to be said is about the price point. Give me one moment. Give me 1 second, y'all. And that's another thing. Sales and anything that I do when it comes to sales quotas, because I'm not talking about getting a sales job. You get what you put in. So there is no sales quotas in what I'm talking about. And even with sales quotas, I mean, you can be of multiple minds with sales quotas. But the truth, and Dynas can talk about this too, because that's how Dynas made his money. Sales is probably the single fastest thing that can actually increase 10x what a black person is doing. Exactly where they are. Yeah, you got to meet people where they are. And you have to really accept with an open mind the concerns that people have. The Jonathan Price killing, you know what, man? I'm going to keep it real with you. I was actually thinking about doing a video about that. I listened to O'Shea's video on it. And this is what I would say. I'm two minds of it. On the one man mind, I agree with him. And I don't really, honestly, I care, but I don't. Like, here's the thing. If you're gonna be somebody like you all know the streams that I'm on when I'm fucking on, Ramil and Fantastic and the shit I gotta deal with over there, with how them niggas be. You know how it is over there. And my thing is, it's like if that's what you gonna plant your flag on, then that is what it is. That is what it is because that is what it is. That dude died believing that he couldn't get touched because he thought it was a culture issue, which it is, but the way he went about it was stupid. Um, that being said, at the same time, I'm not about to be, oh, well, that's why you should be ultra pro black because that doesn't change the reasons why black people have an issue with the black community in the first place. One doesn't beget the other. I always say that this is why I say don't go red pill for black women to be blue pill for non-black women. When you say you're addicted to any woman, if you say you're addicted to black women, I'm gonna say you're a fucking gynocentric cuck. But if you're a black man and you say you're addicted to white women, nigga, you fucked up too. You shouldn't be addicted to anyone. You shouldn't even be addicted to women. To the point, like when people use those words, no, wow, that dog really barked. That dog really barked in their face like that. So, so this is a dude that was very comfortable. He probably looked at people like Daniel, the attorney general in Kentucky, and really idealized them. And at the end of the day, man, it's kind of like a spinning wheel. You could potentially get fucked over. And I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but don't be surprised if that shit happens. Just don't. Yeah, appreciate it. So, and can you get me some jelly, strawberry? Are you still looking for the jelly? Oh, my bad. Appreciate it. You good. Yeah, she's about to cuss that white boy. I know what I gave out. She's like, all right, bitch. But anyway, no, as far as the Jonathan Price situation, I mean, a couple of fuck ups. Number one, that's what you get for fucking breaking up a fight with a female, not knowing what your situation is. You need to mind your own fucking business. That's number one. Number two, dude got tagged. Oh man, nobody gives a fuck about what you post on social media and what you say. Them cops see you as a black man. That's what the fuck we talking about. You stupid ass niggas that want to act like just because that shit don't happen to you every day that the shit ain't happening. Okay, you do that shit at your own risk. I don't wish nothing on you, but that Jonathan shit can be like that. Folks act like just because you wish it won't happen, you immune to it. Just because you ain't starting this shit don't mean the shit can't happen. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about him. Cause a lot of black people ain't gonna start harping. The more, and once that shit gets out, you gonna see black people stop talking about it. I don't avoid women altogether. That's the thing. People, that's not what, I don't avoid women, but I'm not breaking up no fucking fight when you don't even know the context of what the fuck is going on. Just like with niggas be buying into that guilt you give me. Well, men supposed to do that. Well, understand there's a cost to doing that shit too. There is a cost. You a black man in America and you want to, oh well, no, that shit don't matter. Okay. It only needs to matter one time. That's it. Yeah, marketing psychology is critical, but it's not as complicated as that sounds at all. It's not as complicated as it sounds. One of the biggest issues that people have in affiliate marketing and any kind of marketing, any kind of sales, direct sales, is people don't understand the fact that people have to buy. They're buying from you. They're not so much buying the product, they're buying you. And a lot of people forget that. So a lot of people focus on the product. They focus on what the product can do and don't focus on, it doesn't matter what the product can do. People will give you money just because of you. Black YouTube, the Manosphere is proving that. So the you piece, look at how much, you all have seen how much money Ramil has cleared on certain YouTube shows that he's done. It's because people fuck with him. And that's a big sales lesson. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. Why do people keep calling Kevin? Some people say he's this and he's that, yet the people that is his target audience for that show keeps calling. Because only people who need to give a fuck is the people that's your target audience. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned there. So when people talk, but as far as the Jason Price situation, Jason Price planted his flag on a certain ideology, just like how certain black people plant their flag in the ideology of the gynocracy doesn't exist. It is, the system's not wrong, you're wrong. And that's what they want to plant their flag on. It doesn't matter. Let them plant their flag on it. Because like I said at the beginning of this conversation, sometimes you just got to let shit unfold the way it unfolds because you know what it is. And pounding the pavement all day, every day, it's a law of diminishing returns. And if you really believe that the shit is the way you believe, then you just got to understand that the shit's going to happen the way it's going to happen. So if you're somebody that you want to believe that the gynocracy doesn't exist, well then, those landmines are going to be open for you to step on because you're not looking for them because you think you won't blow up. Same thing with racism. I'm not saying you got to be bitching about white supremacy all day, every day, and make it an excuse for you to do shit. But you, like I said before, you a motherfucking fool if you out here trying to act like that shit don't exist and that shit can't never touch you. You a fucking stupid ass nigga. And guess what? Darwinism probably is going to handle you, generally. Darwinism will take care of that shit. That is what that is. Exactly, Will IR. But what I'm talking about isn't even that complicated. I'm not about to teach somebody to create their own products and services. If they want to do that, do that. I'd rather teach people, if anything, to create their own content to basically enhance their own personality so that people can buy into them and then they sell an affiliate product. What I do is I do affiliate marketing. I do affiliate marketing with digital products. That's what I do. Because that's where the fucking money is. But a lot of what you all are going to hear me talk about is not going to have anything to do with products. It's going to have everything to do with the skills. And then I'm going to bring in the products. Because the problem is people talk about the products and then they try to go bullshit. No, I'm going to show you the skills. We're going to talk about the skills. And then we're going to talk about how to apply that to a vehicle, a business vehicle that is a business vehicle. Well, I'm not necessarily talking about selling to black people, only black people. I'm damn sure not talking about just selling only to black people. That's another thing. Even though I'm group economics, I'm pro get money from anybody and everybody. Anyway, y'all, it's been real. See what y'all got. You don't have to. You can be an introvert. You can be an introvert and still be able to sell. Tac man. What I would say is probably what you need to see. Selling and marketing are kind of like. So think of selling and marketing like game versus pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is not game. What you see is what it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of thing as far as how you look, what you wear and dress. But let's keep it real with you. These chicks don't give a fuck about that. If you hit the certain beauty markers, like, the clothes don't matter. But let's say it like this. How, like, what you can control when it comes to you working out, you having tattoos, your look as far as beard, no beard, shit like that. That is pre-qualification. Do you have a V line? That shit is pre-qualification. That shit is you exhibiting pre-qualification, right? Like, and then there's what you can control, what you can't control. Skin tone, height, shit like that. And those things matter too, but yeah. So then you have the game piece, which is the marketing. So pre-qualification is kind of like sales skills. That's what people are dealing with when they directly dealing with you. Then you have game, which is more like game. Even though this is not like marketing, think of it like marketing. Really, social status is really like marketing. Like, how do you enhance your social status? The circle you're around, shit like that. That's more marketing, really. But in this case, we'll say game. Game can make up for, like, marketing. Your ability to market can make up for a lack of can make up for a lack of sales skills, and sales skills can make up for a lack of marketing. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's better to describe in certain. It's the psychology of it, and it's really not as hard as people make it sound like. It's really not as painful as people make it sound like. Sure, you could go on YouTube and learn about affiliate marketing. You could go to YouTube, type in anybody and learn affiliate marketing. Type in affiliate marketing, and there's plenty of people that teach you what the basics of it are. What affiliate marketing is not really the issue. The question is how to take somebody through a process that they go from not knowing you to want to buy from you. That's really what people go to learn for. So how to generate lead, how to go through that process, various pieces in that process, like generating leads, generating attention, which is traffic. I'm seeing all these cops flying without a fucking light. You can do affiliate marketing as easy as you can do a YouTube. It's probably easier to do affiliate marketing is honestly to do a YouTube channel, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's where we're gonna be going through. And anybody wants to come with me on that journey, you're more than happy to come, because trust me, it's gonna be some great stuff there. Well, first of all, to that question, when it comes to pyramid stuff, when it comes to, number one, the short answer is no, it's not. The long answer is multi-level marketing and network marketing isn't pyramid. It's not a pyramid scheme in general. Like, your Betsy DeVos, your Secretary of Education, is the daughter of the DeVos brothers that created Amway. Amway still exists. Amway's been investigated. If Amway was a pyramid scheme, they would have shut Amway down. Amway is not a pyramid scheme. Network marketing and multi-level marketing, even though they're similar, They're like 70% similar, but they're not exactly the same. Those are not pyramids. That's an emotional thing that people apply. Let's be absolutely clear here. You can lose just as much money just as fast doing Forex. Nobody calls Forex a pyramid. Bitcoin is much more less regulated than anything multi-level marketing. Nobody calls Bitcoin a pyramid. You know, real estate, you can lose just as fast money with real estate. Nobody says real estate is a scam, even though there's scams within scams within scams when it comes to real estate. Most white collar crime, stock market, same thing. But nobody never says stock market is it's how people emotionally apply. Network marketing and multi-level marketing is pretty much just the only thing that really makes them what they are is really it's a leveraged plan. And to be honest with you, if you actually had sales jobs, what people don't understand is sales jobs, actual official sales jobs are structured a lot like network marketing things. It's just more on the one deal that you make, not necessarily on a recurring income. But a lot of people don't know that because they don't have sales jobs. So, but no, that's not what affiliate marketing is. And and again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know how a lot of folks are, and the, the truth is, a lot of folks are just not. Here's the thing: if somebody asks me questions like that, the first thing that I say, there's honestly, I'm telling y'all because I have a relationship with you all. But the truth is, if people ask me questions like that, there's absolutely zero I can actually honestly say that's gonna change their mind. It's like me, it's like a black woman saying that all black men ain't shit. There's nothing you could do to change her mind. That's what she emotionally believes, and that's what she's emotionally submitted on. There's nothing you can do to change her mind. Yeah, she may agree with you in the moment, but like she's going to default to that. That certain things people have to change on their own. I know people that do things that they know to be Ponzi schemes. I can prove it. I have a telegram full of groups that they do things that little circle Ponzi scheme. They do things that they know to be a Ponzi scheme. But they will, I'm talking about black men and black women, flipping money via Cash App. But they are much more comfortable with doing that, even though they know they bringing a lot of people into something that they know is not going to make money. And it's not an official company. It's that if you type in that circle wheel money making scam, type that into YouTube. There's a lot of people that do, and they call it blessings and stuff like that. And they will knowingly do that, knowing what it is, being under no delusion as to what it is, but they're comfortable with that. And that's how I kind of know that a lot of that is fear. People will call something something because it's the logic that justifies an emotional reaction. And at the end of the day, I really could care less because, you know, the shit, I really could care less. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. But there is leverage in some of the things that I do. But it's nothing that you would call a pyramid. Another thing, there's one thing that somebody could try to say that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, will I are. Let me be very clear about this. The shit that I do, you all have seen me talk for 3 years now and never really mention this shit. So this idea that I would wait 3 years to bring some shit up because I'm just trying to rope somebody into a scheme. I'm going to say right now, straight up, anybody that thinks anything that I'm doing is a scheme or a pyramid, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not here to convince you of jack shit. I'm telling you now, don't ask and don't do it. I'm telling you right now, if that's what you believe, you will fail. So I'm telling you right now, just don't do it. If you can't see it, there's nothing else I need to talk to you about. Because it's not my job to convince you of anything. And that's not no game, that's just real talk. I haven't even shown you all anything yet or said anything. But if I'm going to hear it's a scheme, maybe I don't need to. And this is why I got folks like NBA. Shout out to folks like NBA fan Iori. Folks have already told me, you know, who's interested in giving me indicated. So understand something. What I don't want is for niggas to be niggas in this space. And then I introduce something and then it starts to take off a little bit. And then I got these niggas that because they're ignorant, they're fucking stupid, they're Samueling me. They're basically saying, oh, he trying to scam. He trying to scam. Let me tell you something right now. The shit that I'm gonna introduce eventually is $20 fucking. It's $20 a month. That's what it is. $20 a month. If folks really believe that I am going to do all this and put my reputation on over to get some measly $20 a month, when I've gotten $200 from some of you all just off the strength of me running my mouth, come on. So real talk. So, and that's the one thing that's kind of hesitated for me to bringing shit out because I'm not gonna explain shit. The shit will stand as it will stand. And if people want to believe something, don't do it. But what I don't want people to do is to sit there and turn it into some Jay Morrison shit where they start telling other people why they shouldn't do it. Don't do it because it's this, it's that. That's the one thing that's really kind of said. I don't even know if this space is ready for some shit like that. Because niggas get retarded when it comes to stuff like that. They get retarded. Dude, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's a scam. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to pick on you, Will. I'm just saying in general. Guess what? If you think it's a scam, if you think that I have no character and scamming is what I do, then go ahead and believe that. Don't do it. Protect yourself. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking about this is what I tell people. If people were to, if I actually deal with somebody I know and they say, oh, is this a scam? I'm like, you know what? Hey, that's what you think. That's what you think I'm about. We shouldn't do business. Point blank, period. If we can believe that the same person that didn't monetize their channel for like the first 2.5 years of having it is all of a sudden going to sell a scam to somebody that for 20 measly fucking dollars, oh yeah, don't do it. But see, that's not enough for black people. So people can't say that something's not for them. They got to go and try to go full like warpath on shit. So, I'm not jumping on you directly, but I'm speaking of what you're saying as far as the deeply thing. I don't need to explain shit. I really don't. And I'm going to tell you, it's for people that are interested, you're interested. For people that are not, you don't have to be. It's okay. It's okay. It is fine. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not gonna be mad. It's not an issue. And selling is a skill. So it's beyond some fucking program or something like that. Hell, I got things that are one time you pay for it once and that's it. I got a thing where you can pay $25 for it, you get a business, and that's it. You don't pay nothing else ever. Period. It's one time. That's it. And it's a digital product. One time. 25, I got a couple that's 100. And that's it. I got some programs that are 1,000. But you get the technology, that's it. You pay for it once. So I got a couple of things for it depends on what people want to do. But see, the problem with passive income is people have this relationship with passive income where they believe they got to be massaged. And I'm like, dude, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm not going to have no back and forth, I gotta try to walk you through some shit that you emotionally don't want to understand. Because I can tell you right now, I don't have this problem with females. I don't know why the black women don't have this issue, but black men really got this issue when it comes to certain things where it's like they gotta be walked through it. When it comes to black women, if it's not for them, it's not for them. But for the most part, it's over. And I mean, let's not act like black people know everything about bonds and all this other shit. And the same people that will tell me about this will be the same people that they will live and die by Forex and they ain't never made a single dollar in it. But it's just and I don't like arguing ideas with people, not on stuff like that, because that's really another way of arguing emotions. No, but Will I are. I'm telling you right now, and this is the advice that I would give you. If you were dealing with anything, any of my teams, I would say straight up, no. You don't even engage that. You tell them right now this is probably. In fact, you tell them up front this is probably not for you. If you were dealing with somebody that you knew and they were asking you that, you say, you know what, bro, it's all good, but it probably won't work. You don't even ask them for referrals because they've already demonstrated. And it's not a. And here's the thing: it's not that I can't answer that question. In fact, I will probably put together a video. This actually explain the video to tell people to just watch the video and then come back to me and see what you think. But the truth is, I know that that's an emotional thing. It has nothing to do with logic. And I know that because when I'm overseas, they do network marketing. You do a hell of a lot overseas. Network marketing is a business model. It is not a scam. Just like various ways of investing in real estate, real estate is a business model. Can you scam within the model? Absolutely. Do people scam within real estate? Absolutely. But you don't see people say is real estate a scam. Now people will say with real estate, it takes money to make money. Okay, but they never call it a scam. Same thing with anything else because they have a certain negative connotation to it and they, by definition, disqualify themselves. It's not about that I can't explain it, but why? Why would I waste my time explaining something that they already want to believe what they want to believe? You got people out here that think that it ain't a scam to work two jobs, to have to work two jobs to make ends meet, but then want to tell me something. It's retarded. Devontae Smith. Well, I mean, and the thing about it is, it depends on who your friends are. I mean, if you're around a whole bunch of people that don't understand like, if you're dealing with and then here's another thing with that. A lot of times with that too, depending on the type of business. If I was in a network, I'm not in a network marketing company, by the way. If I was in a network marketing company like Amway, I wouldn't sell them the business opportunity. I would sell them the products. Meaning I would look at products that I like. For instance, one of my favorite products from Amway is Access Energy Drink. It's an energy drink. It's a whole bunch of flavors that has 0 calories, but it has a whole bunch of B vitamins and all that. It's a much more healthier energy drink. So I told you, for people that want to talk about health and fitness, this is a way for you to kind of keep control of your diet and drink something and then drink water without really, drinking soda and stuff. So I would push the products. I wouldn't push because people aren't going to ask that with a product because they see it and feel it. So that's the difference between a product and a business opportunity. But see, I don't do that with affiliate marketing because they're digital products. So, yeah. Yeah, like what Scott said, you can never go wrong with selling food. So it doesn't. So to make a long story short, Will R, it doesn't have to be explained. Those are people you disqualify. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, Will IR. Most of how I built my stuff is talking to opportunity seekers. So by definition, an opportunity seeker isn't gonna ask me that question. They may ask me other stupid shit, but they won't ask me that because they're an opportunity seeker. They have signed up for something that established them as an opportunity seeker. And for the most part, I talk to people that they've already picked up. Somebody's already picked up the phone. So if somebody's already interviewed them and said, are you looking for a business? How much money you want? How many hours you're willing to donate? Do you want somebody to call you? The name of the person that they talk to. So they never ask me shit like that because they've already been vetted. And that's how I typically tell people to do it. Also, if I'm going to tell people to, so there's ways, I'm not talking to people. I'm not trying to convince people. No, I'm not trying to do all that. I don't have an issue with bonds. Don't have an issue with bonds. No, absolutely, man. And it's not a bad question. Like, I love those questions. I'm not afraid of any question. And here's the thing. This is what I would do for you all, because I fuck with you all like that. Is I would have no problem. We can go through the various business models. And I can actually mathematically show you where it's not a scam and what to look for, because there are things you need to look for, and I can show it to you for affiliate marketing companies. I can show you the different models. I would have no problem showing you those models. And I would not, and I'm gonna keep it real, we're not naming no companies. I'm just gonna show you the models so you can understand the various models, what are some of the strategies with the models, where some of the bullshit is. But what I will say, Will I R, is like nothing that I'm asking you all to do. Like the thing that I actually have in mind, it has three things. It has $100 is the max, $100 a month. But the main one is $20 a month. And then actually for people that really want to be tire kickers, I got something where you can do a dollar trial. And that the leverage that's within that is great. So understand that I'm really thinking about you all. I'm not thinking about, oh, people need to be sales. $20, I shouldn't hear people asking me a whole bunch of bullshit for $20. The value that it gives and the value, and because here's the way the value works. The way it works is you have the product itself, where this is like a savings thing. So you have the product itself. Then you have the training that I will offer as far as my team. And sometimes there's things that I offer where it's like $37 a month for like somebody that I know can really give great training. So you have, but for the most part, there's a free option, which is the group, the team, the training, my skills, me saying everything, which that comes with you just joining. Then there's the, yeah. So you have all of that. So having all of that for just that price, and then what you do is once you get people in, you get them to upsell into other stuff, whether it's tools they need and stuff like that, if that's what they need to do. But $20, if something is $20, fuck all the excuses. You don't need to make a life decision for $20. $20 where it's like you can quit it at any time. It's like, this is just $20, dude. Do you know what are you really asking me? Like, seriously. The rule of thumb is anything under $100, you motherfuckers are not supposed to be asking all these questions. That's different if you ask somebody for $400 and $500, then I got you. I get it. But if it's something that's just $20, I should just have to show you value here, value here. This is what you get. This is a group, a whole bunch of like-minded individuals with some money stuff you can learn from. That in of itself should be strong enough to deal with that. Yeah, that's true, but that's not true. As far as the product should sell itself. That's not true. Absolutely, Devontae. And the thing about it is, you're absolutely right. And the thing is, my thing, when it comes, here's the thing, man. When it comes to the rundown, here's the beauty of stuff like this. Yes, I can tell you stuff, but part of, like, there's videos that explain everything. So it's kind of like, okay, the way I do it, I say, okay, man, somebody wants to know something. Here's a video, and I understand people ain't got all day every day to be sold some BS to be told what it is. Here's a 20-minute video. This will give somebody the rundown of what it is. Once you look at that video, then any questions you got that wasn't answered at that video, now you talk to me. Why did somebody do that? Because what you do is you see if somebody can follow directions. Because tire kickers can't even watch a video. Tire kickers can't even fast forward through a video just to see if it's on some bullshit or not. Tire kickers want somebody to convince them. And I'm like, dude, I ain't got the time to do that. I have a product called Phone Burner that I pay for $150 for, and I can dial in 50, 60 people in an hour over and over and leave voicemails. The people calling me back. So that's what I typically do. And then that's if I do that via the phone. A lot of times you can do that via email. You give people links and they come back. And they say, hey, what's this, what's that? Another thing that I do too, that everybody does, is you do email follow-up. You put them in, you gotta put an email address, and then you don't sit there and call people and bug people. What you do is, if I were to send you a video, there's gonna be an email thing that you're gonna have to put your email in, and then when you put your email in, I got your email. So I got your email, and then you're gonna get follow-up videos from me. Now you can quit those videos whenever you want to. I got a product where you can get follow-up text from me if I really want it. But you get follow-up videos or follow-up in which those are not designed. This is the key. Most people will try to sell you the product in those follow-up videos. I don't do that. What you do is you sell me, meaning you all know me, but people that don't know me, they're allowed to get to know who I am, what I'm about, what I stand for, what I like. And I'm not just talking about some bullshit. I'm talking about like my family, how I got into this, what are my thoughts on this, and that's what YouTube is supposed to do. YouTube is supposed to get people to get to know you, and now people are more comfortable with me. And so then any product I sell to them, it just depends on what are they looking for. And the thing about it is, that's the key. What are you looking for? What are your goals? What are you trying to do? What is the level of risk that you're willing to do? Because I've gotten $1,000 out of people, straight up. But if something is $20, when people say money involved, I'm gonna be like, dude, it's $20. And I'll say, look, here's this video. This video ain't convinced you that it ain't worth taking a $20 risk. I don't know. Cause that's actually on the lower end of stuff that I actually offer. And so, so the level of explaining that I do is adjacent to how much the product costs. If the product is over like $250, yes, I will get on the phone with people. But if the product is like $20, unless I'm like initially trying to blow it up, it's like, look, man, you see the video, you see what it can do, you see what I'm offering, you know. Yeah, man, it does do that. But anyway, no, but little stuff like that, Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna hit y'all up. But as y'all can see, this is definitely something that I'm passionate about, and it's one of those things that I'm passionate about time freedom, because I want every day to be Saturday. Like, real talk. That's actually a little saying that I say. I want folks to be unplugged out of the matrix where people are going to work and shit. You walking around where people are at work because you got control of your time. It doesn't take a lot to do that. So you talk about the other stuff. You talk about the budgeting, doing stuff smart. That's why I'm interested in talking to dudes saving minus debt. A lot of folks that wouldn't have nothing to do with that. So anyway, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.